Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. um, Last night, Good Grit had a party for our Beholden issue, which is the issue on stands now. And you may not know that Good Grit is a give back brand. So we choose a charity to align ourselves with for each party, and 100% of the proceeds for the party go back to the charity. Last night's charity was a charity called Beds for Kids. It was a charity started by a young girl who saw the movie The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock, and she was watching the movie. And the scene where Sandra Bullock tells the actor who plays Michael Orr, she shows him his room, and he says, he looks in and he says, "I never had one before." And she says, "What, your own room?" And he said, "No, a bed." And this girl was 18 and she was like, "Is that real? Are there really people that don't have beds? That's not real." And she did research and found out that there are thousands of people in this country who have never had a bed. So she started Beds for Kids. At 18, I was, not starting charities for others. I was so not the girl starting charities for others. So the fact that this girl had a thought like that after seeing that movie blows my mind. Thank God there are people like her in the world. So anyway, she started this charity. So last night at the party, we had 2 beds set up so people could see exactly where their money was going. And then there were pictures of children on the bed. There are 100 kids in Birmingham on the waiting list alone. And you could sponsor a child, and that child will get a bed before the holidays. So anyway, before we left for the party, Olivia was very upset that Michael and I were going out again because last night was date night. And I was trying to explain to her why it was important that Daddy and I go. And so I showed her the video that was made with a 4-year-old little girl who was given a bed for the first time. Because I was trying to explain it to Olivia, but she is that Aquarius. They need to feel it. You telling them, they're like, yeah, whatever. Words don't mean a lot to people like Olivia, but feeling, if you can get them to feel something, it's like you're solid. So anyway, I show her the video of the little girl getting her bed. And they say, "Do you love your bed?" And she's like, "Look at my pillow." And I could see the wheels turning in Olivia's head. So she's like, "Play it again." So I play it again. Well, what I was not prepared for was Olivia then, why didn't she ever have a bed? Now I know this girl's whole story. So this little girl's whole story. So I explained to her, well, not everybody's mommy and daddy make a lot of money. I go through the best way I can speak to an almost 8-year-old. I've never been a mom to an almost 8-year-old before. So it's all new for me, right? So I explained to her about money and things like that. Well, where's her mom? Well, her mom was taken away from her. She was taken away from her mom. Why? Now, Olivia knows when I'm lying, okay? Olivia knows when I'm lying. She will roll her eyes and walk away. And trust is something that she needs from me because Olivia is the kid who feels like at any given time, the sky is going to fall. So I have to be brutally honest with Olivia or I'll lose her forever. So I explained to her that sometimes mommies hurt their babies. We don't know why, but sometimes they do. And when they do, the police come and they take their babies away. And now she's with a foster family, a foster special mommy. I went through the whole thing. So we're talking about it, and I explained to Olivia what happened to this little girl, and she asks more questions than anybody could have been prepared for. I felt like I was being interrogated. And I explained now she has a bed with sheets and a pillow, and it's hers, and when she leaves the foster house, the bed goes with her, and it's her own bed, blah, blah, blah. So Olivia says something to me that stops me, literally sucks the air out of the room. I finished the whole thing. I think we're done. She goes to get off the stool. She gets back up on the stool and she goes, "So her mommy burned her and now her mommy's in jail. And she's with a special mommy that's taking care of her. And then at some point, they're going to take her away from the special mommy and give her back to her mommy if her mommy does what she's supposed to do? I say yes. She looks right at me and goes, how will she ever be happy? What? What? How will she ever be happy in her life? How can she ever be happy? Oh my God. How can she ever be happy? I was not prepared for that question, but it got me thinking so much about tragedy with all the stuff in Paris and all the stuff we all go through in our lives, the loss of loved ones, loss of children, all the heartache that we experience as we grow as human beings. How can we ever be happy? And this is the answer that I gave her, and I wanted to share it with you. I don't know that it was the right answer, but it was the answer I came up with. I said, in life, we are guaranteed tragedy. In the world, in our communities, and in our small lives, we are guaranteed heartache. We are guaranteed pain. No one is spared. Everybody experiences heartache. But it is such a small percentage of our big picture lives. There will be so much beauty in our world and in our communities and in our lives. It is a personal choice whether you choose to focus on the tragedy and the pain or the beauty and the people who love you. If you focus on the tragedy and the heartache and the things that happen to you as opposed to who you are, you can never be happy. That is true. If I stared at the day my father died, if I stared at the day my mom checked out, if I stared at the day I felt most alone in the world, I would never find happiness. But that is not how I choose to see the world. And I use different examples from my own life with her. If I choose to look at the day my daddy died, and that's just the day I stare at, I would not find happiness. But instead, I choose to look at the days you win your soccer games and the days we read books together and the days you were born and the day I married. I went through the whole thing. And I said, do you understand? Do you understand that you will have your heart broken in life? You will feel pain. But if you choose to look at the days that are good, the days full of beauty, the days that you did your first reconciliation, first day of first grade, whatever. And she said, I do. I said, so if that little girl chooses to look at the days that she got her own bed, the days she found her foster mommy, the days that she will do other wonderful things in her life, she will find happiness. It seemed to work. But it was really something to think about. This parenting thing is, it's like next time around, we should get some sort of manual. I love you so much today. Be good to each other. Have a great day.